What's up, YouTube? You can see from the title, this is what I'm doing today. All right, I got my oil pressure light because, you know, you need to know your oil pressure, especially in these cars. Anything can happen. But I was looking into it and I see everybody puts like a brass tee on top of a brass tee, which looks gaff to me, honestly, very gaff. So I went and got the Glowshift, the oil sandwich plate adapter. This will look way better than that. And this goes in between your oil filter and where it screws in. And there's 4 ports on here. So you could run 4 different things. You could have your oil temperature if you want, your oil pressure, whatever. So I got this, we're gonna put this in. And I'm probably, the gauge itself, where did I put it? Oh, it's right here in my lap. So the gauge, I'm probably just gonna leave it. I'm gonna run it to in here somewhere. Just have it sitting here because my interior is like factory. I don't wanna start putting gauges and crap everywhere. That's why I got the gauges right in my eyesight. Well, I'm not having 10 gauges on the hood, so that's that. We'll see how this goes. I'll let you know. Be back in a second. So I don't want to put that ugly brass block on my car. A T on top of a T, that's ghetto. So I got this. This sandwiches in between the oil filter. This will screw into this. This plugs into this, which then plugs into that. And there you go. You wire up this 2, 3 or 4 wires to light up and everything, dim and all that. And there you go. You got an oil gauge without some ghetto brass block on top of a brass block. All right, so the plate is in. So now I just got to put the oil filter on here. I got to put the sensor. I'm going to put it in this top port. There's 1, 2, and a port on the bottom. You could turn this any way you want. I'm leaving it like this because I'm only using 1 port. So the other ones will be hidden. But you screw this in, and then you plug this into the sensor and run it back to the gauge. I'll be back. All right, people. I've got the new filter on. I've got the sandwich plate adapter. I got the sensor plugged in and ran back into my car through the firewall. I think this looks a lot better than putting a brass bracket on top of a brass tee, on top of a brass elbow, protruding out under your turbo. This looks a lot cleaner in my opinion. So this is a good way to go if anybody wants to go this direction or wants to get rid of that ugly monstrosity in the oil block. You know, the plate is pretty cheap. I think it was like 50 bucks. Sorry for the sirens, but the plate was like 50 bucks. And I'm gonna drop a link, leave the link in the description for y'all if you want to buy one.